Hiya, another Marky-mark video. It's been ages. I did actually do a video last week sometime over the weekend, and I don't know what happened to it, but it didn't upload for some reason, so I'm doing it again. So some great stuff to show you this week. I've just been really interested and pulled this out of my collection, Bobby Hutcherson's Happenings, which I've shown before. Got this a few months ago and just forgotten how much I enjoyed it. Just love Herbie Hancock on here with Bob Cranshaw, Joe Chambers. I did have a 75th edition of this, which I picked up over COVID, and it was dreadful. I had to get rid of it quickly. It was full of pops and ticks. Most of the 75th series was really bad, the Blue Note 75th, but this is perfect. Great record. So I don't mind showing it again just because of the front cover. Such a good front cover. It's just amazing. Just the lovely side A is just fantastic. Really positive, uplifting. Side B starts off with Herbie Hancock's Maiden Voyage, which is a lovely start to the second side, and gets very dark. At the end of side 2, you've got The Omen by Bobby Hutcherson, which is pretty out there. That's great. Anyway, let's just. It's nice to see you all, and I hope your summer's going well. Tons of stuff going on at the moment for me. I'm just about to finish my job and start a new one, so I'm going to be very busy as always. So let's kick off with my first great record. I'm going to show you this. This came today actually. It's so new that I haven't actually got it out of the shrink to put it into a new slip and give it a clean. So I've just whacked it on. I've got some time as the family are out for the minute. No Room for Squares, Hank Mobley. That front cover is divine. Absolutely divine. I sat back on this for a while. First of all, it didn't quite tickle me, but then I kind of kept returning to it. There's just a couple of Blue Note classics that I just don't quite get them straight away. But I don't know why. You've got such a killer lineup with Lee Morgan, Donald Byrd, Andrew Hill, Herbie Hancock, Butch Warren, Philly Joe Jones. I mean, it's an absolute all-star cast, and that iconic photo is just wonderful. So I've just got it in the post this afternoon, and no seam splits, flat as a pancake. It just sounds gorgeous. So I'm really happy with that. Fantastic. A couple of weeks ago, before we went on holiday actually, I got my hands on this slab, this huge slab. Amy Winehouse at the BBC. Now I'd originally got this 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and I had to send it back and just forget about it because it was just so full of the vinyl was just filthy, full of scratches and ticks and pops. So I saw that they'd reissued this as another batch, and I'm so glad I got it. It's great. So you've got 3 LPs in here, and these basically feature the very best of Amy Winehouse on the BBC. Some think that she's probably one of the best jazz singers of all time, of our modern age, of all time modern age. And I have to say, I'm really falling in love with her sound. I mean, she died I think she died in 2018, basically drank herself to death. It was a very sad story. But her voice really is absolutely superb, and the stuff that's on here is absolutely amazing. It's fantastic. They've recorded it from various venues, such as the Portchester Hall, 2007. They recorded what she did with Jules Holland, 2009. You've got a lot of it is Jules Holland. Jules Holland, who's a sort of jazz pianist, one of the greatest kind of at the moment doing the circuit. Is he the greatest? I don't know. This was a swine to cover as well, but when you open it up, try and show this. Some beautiful photographs that they've used. And if you when you open up, so it's trifold. I've totally butchered a few covers to try and cover it properly, which I'm gonna have to do it again because it looks like a dog's dinner, to be honest. Absolute dog's dinner. But some of these pictures are absolutely fantastic. This red hue that they've used, I think, looks amazing, and you get the quality of the recording's excellent, which you'd expect really from the BBC, being sort of British broadcasts. Here we go. So this is side E and F, and I love that picture there. If you can see that, hopefully. So Tears Dry on Their Own is an absolutely wonderful track. She wrote a lot of her own music. I mean, she was really talented. You've got Just Friends, Rehab, obviously, is a classic, and track 2, yeah, Tears Dry on Their Own. She wrote that, co-wrote that. So I think this is an absolute bargain, and it's bound to feature in my top 10, I think, at the end of the year, because all 3 records are absolutely brilliant. I don't know where they were pressed. Probably optimal in Germany, I would have thought. Yeah, made in Germany. But what a slab of vinyl this is. Fantastic. It just encapsulates, you know, there's a few introductions where Jules Holland sort of introduces her and she sort of says hello to the crowd, and it just sounds so natural. And so anyway, enough of that. This is fantastic. Amy Winehouse at the BBC. So I've got 2 or 3 others here. This is Makaya McCraven, In These Times. So I bought this after I saw another YouTuber review it, or sort of mention it, and the one thing that I really like is that Jeff Parker's on here. I like Jeff Parker, so I was pretty much sold. And the label, International Anthem, really good. Do a lot of kind of new, funky fusion jazz type sounds. And Makaya, this is fantastic. So it's a 2022 release. I don't know if it's all analog. I think it's probably digital. Doesn't matter. It sounds great. The opening track is really gorgeous and uplifting. The opening track's called In These Times, which is the signature title of the album. And what's nice is that the time signature on that track just changes. It kind of plods, and then it gets quicker, and it just changes. So it keeps you on your toes. And it's a lovely build up with the tune, and it just sounds great. Really good. The next track, The Fours, it's called. Yeah, so The Fours has a really lovely bass note, melodic bass note that just drives the melody forward, and again lots of lovely overlaying of instruments. So you've got Jeff Parker, Junius Paul, Brandy Younger. There's a whole host of talented modern day jazz musicians here, which the music is composed and produced by Makaya. So the fact that the bass leads on that second track is lovely. The last track is called The Title on side B, and again lots of harps. I'm a sucker for a harp anyway. Really nice sound, nice melody, and then you've got a lovely violin that comes in and just breaks that call and response. It's just lovely, Really nice. So that's In These Times, Makaya McCraven on International Anthem. Another modern jazzy fusion type album which I've picked up. The Circling Sun, Spirits. And this is a 2023 release. And the hype sticker says, debut album from New Zealand, Aotearoa spiritual jazz outfit, vintage recording techniques, microphones and instruments merged with modern production techniques. This is great. This is great fun. Really like this. The track called Bones on side 1 just sounds fantastic. You've got harp, drums, bass, trumpet, baritone. Really lovely. The second track, Kohan, is like a really easy listening, late night jazzy sort of a track. It's just lovely. Really lovely. Nice repeating bass line that just leads you in, and a little bit of synthesizer, electric piano, and it's a little bit like this is a little bit like what's that group called? Is it Karanjabin? Contodo Elto? What was it called? Karanjabin. Anyway, same sort of kind of lovely spiritual jazzy sort of feel to it, but really easy listening. I think my wife would probably like this, to be honest. Well, I wouldn't bet on it, but she might do. Anyway, fantastic. You've got a track, the track 3 on side 1 is called Veneer. Bit darker, solid bass line. You've got that Fender Rhodes electronic piano that comes in, and it's quite spacey. You know, I mean, it does look spacey from the cover, but a really good listen. I'm going to put that on later on, actually, before I go out. Fantastic. Really nice. Lastly, but not least, I picked up this. Love him or hate him. I've shown some of his stuff in the past before, but Frank Zappa. Now I can take him or leave him. Some people love him, some people hate him. I love the stuff that I love, and I don't like the stuff that I don't like, which is great. It's a healthy way to enjoy music. I don't love everything. So, but this caught my eye because I know from reading about Zappa that he enjoyed playing at the Mud Club. It was a really nice place. There's lots of great write-up in here, and made in Germany, so I suspect it's optimal. 2 discs, and it's just a really nice live recording, really well recorded. What's nice also, it tells you how it was recorded. So it says recorded by Klaus Weidemann on a 2-track Nagra tape recorder near the cash register behind the bar. Fantastic. All original recordings produced by Frank Zappa, and this was produced for release by Ahmet, which would be his son. Digital transfers, and what really caught my eye, because I know that this particular mastering engineer does a lot of Zappa reissues. Bernie Grunman did the reissue. So it's a complete set from the famous Mud Club in New York City, cut at, the other thing that I really liked about this is that it's cut at 45 RPM, so you've got a really nice, rich, detailed sound coming out. Featuring liner notes by Arthur Barrow, Steve Vai, plus a memoir and photos from George Alper. And it's lovely. Really like this. Starts off with Mud Club show start. Right, so he introduces Chunga's Revenge, Keep It Greasy. It's just some great... I'm going to play this up, I think. It's just a great... Really enjoyed this. So that's it, really. I bought some CDs. I've been charity shopping again, buying cheap CDs, trying to get some jazz stuff. It's a bit hit and miss in the UK, trying to buy jazz stuff from charity shops. But anyway, I'll persevere. So the sun's out, and it's the end of the day. So look after yourselves, keep spinning, and I'll see you again on another video. Bye bye.